Jimmy.
Hola, how are you?
Good, buddy. How are you?
I'm quite lovely, man. Ugh.
Yep. All right. We're good to go. I'm going to turn some lights on.
So is that like a national ad that they're going to be pushing out for like a seance for Sam Adams by chance, or is it just like Instagram only?
Say it again.
Is that seance promotion, is that going
Oh,
to be
it's
like a
done, dude.
national
They
ad?
sold it out. It's gone.
Oh, they already sold like the box out.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
that's
done.
sick.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was like $18, and I was like pissed, but then
18 bucks? That's it?
that's what I'm
Really?
saying, dude. It was cheap.
Oh my God.
They wanted
No
it to
wonder
sell
they
out
sold out.
fast. Then yeah. But
How
yeah,
much?
that's funny. I
So
mean,
wait,
that's my job. Like my dream job is the person that's just commenting back to me. That's why that's super sick.
is that like if you had the ability to do that, like would you be a troll or would you actually be like serious to like the people you're commenting back to?
Oh, so it's about the brand tone of voice. Like that's what we go through with every client. For example, we have a client, Perkins
Mm.
Restaurant, who
Yep.
they have a
Yep.
promotional item. Uh, you make sure really okay. I would assume that I would eventually align with we need to make our beds and do the laundry and hang it up and fold and sort your socks before putting them on. Like, I understand there's a time and a place for all that. And I think it's house ownership, which is why you do those even in college. So.
Well, yes and no, because like there's definitely a lot of things that I've neglected in this house since I've owned it, and you are aware of it. Like I still have not done anything that was supposed to be the office. I work out in it in the morning. I haven't done anything with the guest room yet, which I
True,
promise I will.
that is one funny
And
concept is that you still have your desk and work out of your living room. Like that is funny when you have
it is,
because that was why I thought when I stayed over, I thought you had 2 bedrooms. It's because the other room clearly didn't have your office stuff. And so you're like, no, that's my office. I was like,
well, because like, okay, so like where I work, I'm technically supposed to have like a separate office where I work because it's required for me. But if I live alone, there's not really a reason for me to separate anything. It's kind of like a free for all at that point. Like if I lived with someone or if I had a roommate or something, like yes, I would be forced to like put my stuff somewhere because I can't have it like out
assuming though if they ran your situation like it was the number one concern for your company, they would tell you have to be in a room. Like I am
in a room technically. This is my living room.
The fact that it's open, I'm saying that I feel like if it was letter of the law and that was their number one concern, like they would make you move into a room.
If that is the number one concern for my company, then Lord bless us, we are in trouble.
Maybe in trouble,
if that's the case.
Yeah, I think that's a fair alternative there. We do want to talk, so the primary sports conversation tonight, we will talk a little Devontae Adams. We will get to the 2025 NFL draft and how we're feeling leading into it after today. I sent a mock to the boys. And then we will catch up on Agatha all along. I will admit, Agatha all along, I'm just going to say it out loud. I had a couple THC drinks, Greg. So sue me.
For episode 4?
Sue me.
For episode 4 while you're watching?
Yeah.
Well, in fairness, this was a good one.
Amazing. I'm just telling you, there's going to be parts that I talk you through to make sure that I remember it correctly. But let's and
full disclosure with that record too, like, so because I was working overtime before we did this, I got done with work around 6:10. So I was like, fuck, okay. Do I shower, eat, and able to watch Agatha all along in that time frame? No. What do I cut out?
Shower.
Okay. Yes, that's exactly what
you're in your own office, buddy. 3, 2, 1, action. Oh, what are you drinking, Greg?
I'm drinking from Von Trapp Brewing. It's a Vermont brewery that just expanded to Pittsburgh, I think, about 6 months ago.
That's
like
cool.
Distribution and stuff. Yeah, Von Trapp Kolsch style ale. I like the color.
Aren't those the Von Trapps? Sound of Music? Isn't that the Sound of Music family?
Yes, and that's and by the way, this brought up something that I was thinking of as I got this. Never seen the Sound of Music.
Me either.
Really?
Maybe when I was a baby, but like.
I like vaguely remember watching the beginning where like Julie Andrews is like spinning around on the hillside and stuff, and then that's it. That's all I know from the Sound of Music.
Hi, baby. We are at the Moonlight Inn with Dick and Ginny. Sorry, you're probably doing your show now. Parents aren't
watching.
Shout out,
Cat.
Fine. No. That's what? Why shout out what? Why shout out Cat? That's my mom.
Oh, I thought that was Cat saying.
No. My mom. So that's why she's my mom. I'm saying we have no viewers.
Okay,
fine. But we're gonna swear way more now.
Way fucking more now.
That since you aren't watching.
I know, right? Like, I've never been on my best behavior, but I know you've held back tremendously.
I'm gonna hit her with a no rules.
No rules, motherfucker.
Shit like that. I'm drinking Homestyle, Bearded Irish Homestyle. They had they finally. Well, this is the first time I've ever seen a I think get it up. Variety pack for them. I've never seen this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Very simple, very clean. I like it.
So Tunnel Vision's their other IPA. They have the Homestyle, the Double Homestyle, and then the Attention Please, which is their double IPA. And so a lot of IPAs, I can almost guarantee you I'm not getting through more than 2 of these.
Oh, for sure. Not on a Thursday.
Golly, Greg, I have to start the show off by fully addressing the fact that I don't want to go to bars anymore. At all. For games, for anything.
Okay.
I have no like want or need to. I can't. Dude, I'm so happy in this apartment. Like, oh, I don't want to do anything, Greg. I don't know what's happening.
You don't want to do
me.
any. Is it like a change in the season? Is it like a situation type thing that you're in right
but
now?
Also it's like it isn't, because I feel like I'm just old.
Well, I mean you're about to be what, 31?
32.
Next month?
32.
32?
Yeah.
32 is like, yeah, around that time.
That's
like
at, like
yeah, no, I get it. Like I just turned 33, so like I'm kind of in that weird boat as well where like I don't want to be out late all the time, but yet if it's like a rare occasion, fine, I'm cool with it. But
I used to like be like, dude, I could go to the bar and grab. My buddy was like, you want to go to Batter's Box after your show for the game? And I was just like, no, like not really.
Which is weird because it's literally right down the road from you too.
Yeah, I don't want to leave this place at all.
It's not a hike for you, so that's the part that I find fascinating. I get where you're coming from. It's funny because like so this past weekend I went to two distinct different locations.
Yeah.
Friday night I went to Carmela's because my buddy is in a two-man acoustic.
Oh, that's right. And who are you? What was the connection with the two-man acoustic? Brian at Intergroove. Got it.
Oh, no. So like the guy who's in the two-man acoustic set, he used to date my cousin, and now we're really good friends. And
yeah,
like,
that was the band member from Intergroove.
Yeah, the band member. His friend. His name's Dustin. Yeah.
And he is. Why'd you say no?
Well, because you brought up your cousin and
at Intergroove.
Right. I'm sorry. I was trying to figure out the connection on that one. My bad.
Do you think that I thought you were going to see my cousin in a two-piece band?
For a second, yes.
Greg, oh my lord, no! I'm saying it's the same friend that did the music at Intergroove that brought cousin.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Greg, so you're getting old as shit, dude. You can't.
I know I am. Damn. I'm very old. Yeah, I am. I'm an ancient at this point. But no. So like, I went to two distinct things this weekend. So that was a whiskey bar that I had 3 old fashions and a beer while I was there. And I distinctly remember coming home feeling it very heavily, even the next morning. And then the following day was Allegheny City and the actual Oktoberfest at Penn. And that really hit me more than it should have. So I kind of understand the logic. Like if I'm at a whiskey bar, kind of like just enjoying myself, there's no TVs. I'm just kind of relaxing and stuff. That's fine. But like I even made that attention kind of clear when I'm at Oktoberfest and I'm just kind of sitting down with friends of mine and stuff. I don't want to be like in that like swarm of people that are just kind of like huddled all over the tables and like without anywhere to move. I'm kind of in that same boat as you, Deke. I don't know about all bars I wouldn't want to go to necessarily, because I think certain bars I still enjoy, but I am in that same boat as well where like I just don't want to deal with it anymore.
Yeah, dude. It just makes so much more sense to not deal with it.
It's age and wisdom. And plus, here's the thing. We already paid for alcohol. That's in our house. Like, why are we going out to get more? Yeah, like, I completely get it. I got bourbon, whiskey, beer in my house. Like, what more could I possibly need?
And TV. Bathroom with no line.
I don't have to tip anyone for a drink unless I want to tip myself. Which,
dog,
hey, can't go wrong with a dog
and
either.
Yes, sir, you can jump on the couch and sing a song. Yes. Because it's your place. Yeah.
Without any music playing.
No one's kicking me out for singing a song. Yeah.
Acapella, bitch.
All right, so let's dive into some sporty shiznit here, Greg.
Do it.
First thing we'll talk about Davante Adams. So we're getting back into a little bit of a more, I don't know if we've talked sports in years. Davante Adams, clearly unhappy. Antonio Pierce finished their game the other day saying that certain players are making business decisions. The question was who he was talking about. A lot of people alluded to various players, with Davante Adams clearly being the culprit there. It seems, Greg, that there is some trouble in what we assumed was Paradise, since that was his trade location just 2 years ago. But they have now accepted his transfer request, and they're looking to move him for a second-round pick. He has listed the Jets and the Saints as his destinations, with being okay with teams like the Steelers as well.
First off, I can tell you have soccer on the brain since you bring up transfer requests instead of trade requests. That's very funny.
Transfer portal, yeah.
Transfer portal.
It's just the better word.
It is. I will give you
trade
that.
Trade is so...
Yeah, but transfer also but transfer from the soccer perspective means you're selling someone, and it's kind of like...
Oh, true.
It's strange. to a degree, but
Yeah.
then again, beside the point. Are we really surprised about this in hindsight?
I am very surprised that he went there in the first place. Like, I feel like he was happy with it.
He was, because he got the biggest contract at the time,
Yeah.
and his quarterback was one of his close friends in Derek Carr. So
yes, exactly.
And they were about to open a brand new stadium in Vegas at the time. So like he was going to a good situation.
It's crazy to me that they did not genuinely. So you bring him in, you trade him, Carr away. It does blow my mind that they didn't address the quarterback position at all. Don't get me wrong, we love Gardner Minshew. He's funny, Greg, but like outside of it being Gardner, like he's not a good quarterback. He's not going to get you anything more than maybe a wild card game in which you guys get pummeled or something like that. Like I love Gardner Minshew. He's not a quarterback that's going to make Devonta Adams happy. So to not address it at all, to completely ignore it, basically, outside of you have Minshew and Aiden O'Connell, and everyone's just aware that this is happening, but you have teams like the Vikings who are making Sam Darnold look like Jesus Christ himself. Yep. I am surprised he went there, but you can't promise me. Yes, they probably said they would keep Carr forever. How do you not have a contingency plan for trading away arguably the Raiders' best quarterback ever?
Well, they also probably thought about it too. I would be willing to bet you going into the draft, because there was a story that I think I remember seeing when that the Raiders like were looking at quarterbacks in the draft the last 2 years, and they just passed on them because there wasn't anyone available or someone worthy of it. And for the record, I'm not knocking them for making the picks they did. I think they're a solid. I've said this on record numerous times. There's so many things I like about that team except for the quarterback. And don't get me wrong. Like I'm not saying Gardner Minshew's bad or anything like that. It's just that most teams in the NFL will not get far without some sort of stability at quarterback. And I don't think Gardner Minshew is the poster boy for stability in any way.
No. I guess the worst part about it all is I'm trying to get to their there we go. Got to their draft. But it just doesn't make sense to me to not address it like we said. Like you like some of their picks. All right, so they took JPJ, they took Brock Bowers, and then you get into offensive tackle Torrey, and I'm going to bounce to his third round. So third round is when they actually could have started genuinely looking at the quarterback position. Dude, I think what threw me off, too, is they didn't take Penix. Like, I really thought they were going to. I could see them taking a quarterback this year, but are they really going to stick around enough for Devonta to be happy?
I'd be willing to bet you, first of all, that they didn't expect Penix to go.
Fair, fair.
Yeah, they were 13 in this year's draft, so I bet you they probably thought that he was going to fall to them. But then Penix and Bo Nix went before them, so
and
they were
I
just
can't hate the Bowers pick, to be fair. Like the Bowers pick is great.
Oh, it's great, but like it doesn't. But like when you're starving for a quarterback, that's probably not the best situation for them. But it also brings up the situation about this too, is that if you put any of the quarterbacks that are like kind of like on resurgency paths this year, I don't think any of them would work in Vegas.
Oh, that's completely fair, but I mean,
I like Antonio Pierce, don't get me wrong and stuff, but that's a brand new culture that they're trying to build right now. Like, so that was. What do you mean how?
No. I said, wow, I'm so sorry. Jordan Travis in the 5th round was the next quarterback taken after J.J. McCarthy. That feels crazy, right?
Yeah, holy shit. That's
let's see. Quarterback.
Well, because I remember 2 years ago, like I was with you in Nashville, like there was almost a quarterback taken like every other pick.
So it goes first pick, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Michael Penix, J.J. McCarthy, Bo Nix, and then drops down to, okay, so I was technically wrong, but from Bo Nix, not a quarterback taken till the Saints took Spencer Rattler in the 5th round with the 150th pick. So Rattler, Travis, Milton, Leary, and Michael Pratt were the next quarterbacks after Bo Nix. I didn't even realize that.
There were no day 2 quarterbacks taken. No. That's unbelievable.
Dude, to be fair, I don't know who you would have. Maybe Joe Milton on a flyer. I like Spencer Rattler a lot, but there's a lot to coach. And Jordan Travis coming off a huge injury. But I think Travis for the Jets, I mean, what a flyer.
Oh, for sure. Like if he's healthy and stuff, he doesn't have to play for 3 years at best. I mean, Aaron Rodgers probably has a couple more years left, so like I can't imagine like he's going to be relied upon by that point. So, but yeah, that blows my mind. But like also, I guess when you think about it, the quarterbacks were kind of top heavy this year. Like I don't remember a lot of depth guys off the top of my head that were like looked at as
no. And that's what I was just saying is neither like Travis or Rattler there am I like getting out of bed in the morning for. You know what I mean?
No, it's over. I mean, you called out Spencer Rattler as a fraud when he was at Oklahoma.
He was a fraud at Oklahoma because then came Caleb Williams.
Yes, that's true.
He got beat in a closed practice. But he's impressive now. So that takes me back. I want to ask one question about Devonta before we get in because I do want to keep talking. Draft is what's fun on my brain right now. But the Devonta Adams situation as the Pittsburgh Steelers, should we go after him? Let's say the Jets and Saints just don't work out. We can get him for, I would say probably a second and a player. So we got to be realistic about like, I like it if it's this guy, but not if it's that guy type of mood. Would you entertain Adams right now?
I don't know about second and a player. I would do because like I can't think of like player who they would covet necessarily. I would do second, third. I would do a second this year, a third next year, and maybe like another late round pick for him. Well, because here's the other thing too. Like I don't know. Again, this brings me back to the conversation we had earlier about how early is too early to be doing mock drafts. If you look at their projected picks this year, they have 10 in this year's draft class. Yeah. So like, yes, losing a second rounder would kind of sting a little bit, but like if it's a later first, that's fine. You can trade down and whatnot, or trade up in your third. So I think it's okay to sacrifice a second round pick this year because my concern though, Devontae has 2 years and $72 million remaining on his deal. It's not fully guaranteed after this year though. So like he would have to really prove that he wants to commit for the next few seasons if a team's willing to pay out the rest of that contract, which in fairness, the guy's still elite. So like, it's not like it's going to be not going to be that big of an issue, but if you think about it, like everything that you heard about the Steelers was that they wanted Brandon Ayuk in the offseason. Like they're like Omar Khan recognized that they need a number 2 receiver on this team. And if you look at their passing game over the first 4 games and stuff, like it needs work.
Dude, agreed. Let me pitch you this scenario.
Need another weapon there. Yeah, go ahead.
Devonta Adams goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers send a second round pick and Russell Wilson.
I'd be thrilled.
Thrilled? Oh wow.
I'd be thrilled if we did that because we got Russ for basically nothing.
Well, yeah, agreed. So you're looking at it from a fact of just like ROI, not I like Russ. I mean, Russ is a backup quarterback, is arguably the best backup quarterback in the NFL. Russ as a backup quarterback is the perfect guy that I would want Justin Fields to have an ear of. Russ as the backup quarterback in Pittsburgh makes me kind of believe that he would take some kind of a low-paying deal to stick around, depending on the situation. So if Fields pops off and then decides not to sign, Russ could still be there. Russ, to me, is extremely valuable, especially with the Raiders not having a quarterback. So I understand you're thinking we got him for little, we can get this much. I'm thinking we got him for little, he's here, we should try to get significantly above it.
So would you say, like, would you entertain the offer then of you would want Devontae Adams plus in return for that?
Like a fifth.
That's fair.
Like nothing that's crazy, but I just know, to me, it's one of those situations. I always get knocked in Dynasty by a guy named Chris Winters, he's very good at fantasy. He just likes to talk trades, and man, I don't know what it is. I just don't. For me to do a trade, like for me to go, like for someone to come to me and cold call and be like, I want this trade, I'm always like, no. And he goes, dude, this is like a really fair trade. Or most of the time he sends me offers that are a little bit leaning my way. But my thing is, and I always say this to him, you came to me to get this player.
So you're clearly the desperate one.
Like,
or clearly the one that is like,
yes, if you want this player, I know you want him. You will have to pay the price that I think he's worth, which is more. And all the time he goes, dude, this is such a fair trade. You notice it is.
Have I told you the concept that Davis has preached to me numerous times is that there's no such thing as a fair trade?
Yeah, I don't think that's true.
You don't think that's true?
I don't.
I think in fantasy, I don't think it's true. I think in like real sports situation.
Well, is he talking about real sports or fantasy?
Well,
I feel like he's talking about fantasy.
Yeah, I think he's talking more about fantasy, but like I'm curious about like applying that now in like real sports situation. Like, is there a situation where trades in like actual sports are always fair or not?
I mean, definitely. There's situations in which it does work out, I feel. For example, I really will say that I thought the Denver Broncos trade with the Seahawks was fair for what Russ was worth. Did it pan
At
out?
the time, yeah,
Did it pan out? Of course not. And like looking at it as hindsight is so obviously a terrible trade. At the time, though, the Seattle Seahawks felt they ran their course. He was still a Super Bowl winning quarterback 2-time. The Broncos needed a face and an identity, and they were a quote-unquote quarterback away because they still had Chubb at the time.
Right.
They made a trade. They sent a lot of assets, but I thought it was, a fair trade.
Yeah. I mean, would you also say the same thing about the Panthers and Bears trade for Bryce Young?
Yeah. They could have taken Stroud. They didn't trade those things for Bryce Young. They traded those things for the first overall pick. So that's where a lot of people are like, well, Bryce is the butt. I'm like, yeah, because they made that decision, but that doesn't make the move bad because Stroud snapped, Anderson snapped, Marvin's great, Malik's great, Brock's great, like Joe Alt's great. Like the rest of this class is amazing. They didn't trade all those guys for Bryce Young. In theory, yes, they did. They traded it to select first, and they picked Bryce Young.
Yeah, it's kind of like the what's the thing that I don't know. Did you stole this from Brian Windhorst about the used car thing?
Oh yeah, if you have a draft pick, it's a car on a lot. The second you make the pick, it becomes a player, which you have to take care of and maintain and train on your own and worry about the way they look in the public-facing eye. And that's just the way it is. The car on the lot's always more expensive than the car on the road. Now, granted, a car on the road can come, LeBron, who somehow surpasses the first overall pick. But
very rare entities. But it's very rare that you have an appreciating value on something.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I completely understand that logic. No, but like it got back to me because I think like trades are on the brain now just because of like now we saw the cat trade happen that came out of nowhere and stuff, and now the Devontae Adams trade is going to be something that is going to be pursued. I'm just hoping that I'm actually like able to be on my phone when that happens, and I'm not reacting to it an hour after the fact. This time, yeah.
This time's the key word there. All right, Greg, I want to jump over to, so this was published today at 1:15.
Okay.
Mel Kiper's 2025 NFL Big Board Rankings Top Prospects.
Wow. Okay. By the way, I've not listened to the First Draft podcast yet, but am I mistaken for just thinking that putting Mike Greenberg on basically everything now is just kind of overkill, but yet also like I love it?
Here's what happened. This moved Field Yates into the Todd McShay role, or the Todd McShay,
which it should be Matt Miller, but that's my bias.
I disagree. I think it should be Field Yates.
Really?
He is the golden child of ESPN. He cut his teeth doing 8 years or so beat writing for the Patriots, which is notably like the toughest organization to get any news out of. He was the B to Matthew Berry's A on ESPN for fantasy football, and he knew his shit. And I genuinely believe he is going to be the face of ESPN for years and years and years, and he's a guy that deserves it. And so for me, all of that combined with his ability to actually watch the draft and watch tape, he meets Mel Kiper. And he's stealing players. Like the way that Todd would say some stuff that genuinely, dude, at the time you're like, yeah, that's kind of like a dude at the bar take, Todd.
Yeah,
Field is actually doing an Ian Rappaport to Adam Schefter job on this podcast.
There were distinctly times too that I remember, like, because I think Scouts Inc. like distinctly went away after Todd McShay like kind of like left ESPN. But like there were some times like those Scouts Inc. rankings were like a little off, and not to say Mel Kiper didn't have some bad verbiage on certain players and was horribly wrong on some guys over the years. But
he said he'd quit his job if
Jimmy Clausen wasn't like a Pro Bowl quarterback.
I mean, still see him every weekend.
Yeah, he ain't going to win.
But let's go through. So obviously we love everything draft related. This is his big board, so that means that it's positional agnostic. It's the best players in order of who he thinks. I'm just going to give you names for reaction, and we can discuss as opposed to make you guess or anything like that, okay?
Okay, let's do it.
Number 1, wide receiver / cornerback out of Colorado, Travis Hunter. His previous ranking was 1.
Which, are we just, how is this going to work, you think, up to the draft process? Like, is he going to, like, push himself to say, I'm a two-way player? Why would
he define it?
That's fair.
Because think about it. If he doesn't define what he wants to be, a team that wants him only as a wide receiver or a team that wants him only as a cornerback and teams that want him as both will be like, cool, then he's just saying that he will accept whatever it is. I'll take him.
Okay, interesting. I'm curious to see how he handles that moving forward, because I feel like if there's one person that can do both, it's him. But at the same time, I'm curious how he handles like that in the media, because if he gets the message out like, I want to be both, is that going to deter him from potentially like getting that top spot that other teams might be?
The other thing that we're discussing here is not that he'll be the number 1 overall pick.
Fair.
It's that he's the best
player.
Saying
he's clearly the best player in this class.
I think when you word it that way, yes.
Yeah.
Which is, so here's where we can actually have a discussion, though. Number 2, whose previous ranking was 2, is arguably the best corner in the class, Will Johnson out of Michigan.
Mm-hmm. I think we brought this up before. Like, Will Johnson's he's not flashy. He's steady.
Everything you want. Yeah.
Yes, he's everything you want. He is a guy that you put on the side of that will just completely like take away a guy. He's very good. Because if I remember correctly, like Michigan does not play zone. They run a man defense, if I remember correctly. So like Johnson like is always matched up on someone, and he's pretty damn good at it. But he's also he's quiet about it. He's very opposite of like the good corners that have come out lately, which intrigues me. I don't know how high he goes, because I still feel like there's definitely going to be teams that are kind of like unsure after the Jeff Okudah experience.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
But I do think, I will say this is the first year that I felt like a cornerback should and could go first between the two of these guys. Now, if Travis goes, whatever you want to call it, but this will be the first year that, even with Okudah, I thought Okudah was great, and I thought the pick was amazing at the time. He still wasn't what these two are doing. Like, these guys are, like, absolute bona fide studs. They're not sauces, like you're saying, where it's loud and it's only man. They're not, they're not even Singletaries, where there's a ton of buzz around them. They're just the two best corners, and this class is weak in those.
Yeah, which is weird, because I feel like college has done a very good job of producing corners and athletes over the last, 5 years or something like that. It is cool that the best players are corners this year.
I'll be honest, Greg. This next comment is going to come off the heels of me doing absolutely, obviously, no looking into this class so far. I can't believe this guy is third.
Okay.
I've heard this name. He is a freak. He has been rising up. His previous spot is 7th. Abdul Carter, Penn State.
Oh, the dude from Penn State. Yeah.
Dude.
I have not watched any tape on him at all.
I hear it's insane.
I feel like everything I've heard about him is that he has the measurables you want for a 4.3 edge.
Yeah.
But everything I've heard about the edge class has all been about like Tennessee's dude, James Pierce.
Yeah, so Pierce is insane. He's such a freak athlete. He has not been producing the way that he should have a Myles Garrett-esque season. Now, granted, it's SEC, but like...
Is he getting the Jadeveon Clowney treatment of like getting double and triple teamed a lot, though?
He is, and that's fair, but like... At the same, I don't know. Tennessee will finally be tested this weekend. Tennessee looked great. I believe in them, but Pierce could be a transcending corner. Honestly, genuinely, this is going to sound bad. It's not a comparison. It reminds me of the Will Anderson stuff, where you were like, Will's a freak. Well, he had an average year in college. He's still a fucking freak. Like, he still already did stuff. So.
Yeah, and also, like, Will Anderson was a runner-up at the Heisman when no one expected that.
Agreed.
So, like, there's something to think.
I had a moment when I was doing my mock where I wasn't sure where to rank the tackles. Mel Kiper, previously at 6. The fourth one is Kelvin Banks Jr., tackle out of Texas.
Okay. It's a very good tackle class. Don't get me wrong. I think it's him,
deep.
Will Campbell,
the two LSU guys, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like mix and match right there. I think Banks has the size and kind of like the footwork to be the prototypical left tackle that you want.
32 snaps at left tackle. That's his career snap count at Texas.
Oh yeah, that's
all you need. With 2
sacks
is crazy.
That's impressive. That's very, very impressive. So yeah, I mean, like that's all you want for a franchise left tackle right there. So I don't hate that at all. I actually, if there's a class, if this could be one of the first years that a tackle goes top 3, top 2, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, depending on how this quarterback class nets out, obviously they're going to be the top 4 of the top 10 picks. But this is the year where you would go, I could see other stuff, because I love Shador, I love Milroe, love Beck, love all these guys coming out, right? Love yours.
Love yours.
But it's deep in that sense. So I don't know.
Deep in the trenches. It's a very good trenches class. It's something that was lacking last year a little bit.
Mason Graham at 5, previously ranked 8th. James Pierce Jr. at 6, previously ranked 3rd.
Yep. Graham is more interior style, which is definitely big. A lot of teams could use that, like Cowboys. And then also Pierce is a prototypical edge rusher that has the size and speed that you want. Not putting the production up right now, but again, it's early in the season, so you never know. Especially when you get deep in SEC play, he might make an impact for all we know.
Yeah, I mean, he had a 10-sack season last year. We're looking at the screen right now with it on. 56 snaps over the team's first 3 games. A freak athlete. Like, love the dude. I want him to do a little more. 2 Georgia guys next. Mykel Williams, linebacker, Georgia, previous rank 4. And then a guy that is the top safety as of right now, I'm pretty sure in the class, Malachi Starks out of Georgia, previous rank 5, now 8th.
On him? Oh.
Do you know what's annoying, though? What's genuinely annoying? Like, how do you not have Jalen Milroe as the number 1 quarterback in this class when we've just named, like, 7 Georgia guys?
But that also kind of shows you, like, I think the quarterback class in general, like, there's good players, but they're not that, like, elite, like, guy that I think you can, like, look at and be like, oh my God, that's QB1. You know, I think all the quarterbacks in this class have like different traits about them that different teams will probably covet, and that's why there's probably some late helium about Milroe getting that number 1 QB buzz, perhaps.
I don't agree with this next one. That's how I heard this. Luther Burden III as the top wide receiver out of Missouri, previous rank 10. I got T-Mac.
You got T-Mac? Okay.
I said that in the chat. I was dude. Man.
I'm curious to see how this plays out this year because, like, you've been a big T-Mac guy for even before the season started. How much you liked him and stuff. 6'3",
huge frame. He's out there producing. To me, it's there's a ton of catches and a ton of film. I think it was something with Mel that I was watching on, but a ton of catches that are just outside of the traditional frame of wide receivers. He's big bodied, and when I'm looking at the kind of what the receivers in the league are presenting, it's not slimmer frame that's going in those top spots. Like, genuinely, people that want these big body receivers who can catch everything. I don't want to comp him as anybody, but like he has the body of a Mike Evans. So run there.
You know what's funny about the receivers? Like as the season or as like the years have kind of gone on, we almost kind of transitioned to like more of like the slot, like easy, the middle type situations where
game type guys.
Yeah, the bigger body guys kind of went away, and then A.J. Brown came along, and guys like that, or DK Metcalf, like just became these like big physical dudes that like were able to get up at the point of attack and like make plays. They may have been a little raw, but there's just something about them that if you put them in the right situation, they're able to just like get up at you and is like a great number 1-esque type that you look for. It's interesting that that's now kind of making a resurgence where like teams are now, because like very much so, going for like 6'3", 6'4" guys that like jump to the point of a catch was a very 90s trend in terms of going for receivers. It was always the undersized guys that were kind of never gotten any love whatsoever.
Fair.
But Luther Burden, I don't hate as number 1. I think as much as I like T-Mac for his measurables, Burden is just a guy that I think does everything so well.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, the physical traits might not be there and stuff, but I feel like he's just very smart in what he does on the field.
Oh, for sure, dude. He just has a ton of intangibles there. I can't knock the kid in any way, shape, or form. He is everything you want in a receiver. I just like T-Mac. Next, let's get into this one. Ashton Genty, Boise State, previous rank 16-10. We talked about him in the group chat today with Dre a little bit.
Yeah, you and Dre had the running back conversation. That's don't get me wrong. I'm of the belief that I think the workhorse is making a return necessarily. I think that it's possible. And as you look at the NFL right now, they really are pushing more back towards a run-heavy type offense, which works.
But to Dre's point, so for everyone listening, the conversation was he brought up Genty as potentially the best back, and I was like, sure, but teams will be concerned with his workload.
Right.
Because he's rushed for like 850 yards in 4 games, and that would be a wear and tear concern. And Dre's point was respectfully along the lines of like other running backs have had the workload, and also like most running backs today are getting drafted into 2 running back systems, which means they don't worry about wear and tear. To which the reply was basically like, we have no idea what these teams are thinking, but I can almost guarantee that someone in a fucking room says wear and tear.
Yeah, I think that I can agree with that. It's funny. Running backs in college are kind of like the equivalent of college pitchers with baseball. How like coaches kind of like use them up a lot, and like to the point where like wear and tear does become that conversation, and it's almost like overusage at that point. But I'm for one very excited by the prospect of a running back talent being a top 15 talent in a class, because it's a rare sight to behold. It always comes down to the situation though, where like we go back to like the 80s and 90s where running backs got taken up so much.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until people always said like, oh, they're bust because they're not producing and stuff. No, motherfuckers, because people don't realize that you need an offensive line that can open up holes for you.
Yeah.
So I won't seek my teeth into running backs without knowing the offensive line situation that they're going with, more so than like another back they're playing with, I think, or the type of offense they run. If you're going to like a Niners or a Dolphins type situation that runs a zone scheme, heavy offense that utilizes backs, okay, cool. But if you're going somewhere that didn't traditionally use a running back situation, then like, how am I going to trust you to be able to produce well? Or how, not so much the player, but how am I going to trust the organization to put you in a good situation to win?
Facts.
Yeah, I think that's just unfortunately how we look at running backs now. Like, it's not always the player; it's like, where are you putting him?
No, 100%. All right, we enter back into a fun scenario here. The next 3 picks here, 11, 12, and 13 on Mel Kiper's big board. 11, T-Mac. Tetsuroa McKillen, wide receiver, Arizona, previous rank 9, 6'5", 212. Number 12 on this list, quarterback, Colorado, Shedeur Sanders, previous rank 12, stays the same. Number 13, quarterback, Jalen Milroe, Alabama, previous rank, not ranked.
He was not ranked in like the
Mel Kiper's previous big board.
Okay. First of all, before we get into that, I turned on Bama, Georgia. I was at Oktoberfest.
That's one of the best games I've ever seen.
Hear me out. I missed most of the game. I turned it on at Oktoberfest because Davis is sitting next to me. He's like, "Hey, what's the score of Bama, Georgia?" So like I pull it up on my ESPN app.
Yeah.
And I saw I think it was like 34-27.
Yeah.
Bama. And then I turned the game on because I had Verizon on my phone, and I just saw like Georgia's score.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, like this is a really good game. And then I saw on the prompter, like, oh my God, Georgia came back from like 27-3.
Yeah.
They
were damn near down 30. Like,
yeah, damn near down 30. And then all of a sudden, next play, fucking Ryan Williams, like the 17-year-old god of a wide receiver we never knew it could exist in college football, breaks off an 80-something yard touchdown run. Yep. Like just
so sick.
Sick, yes. I mean the catch that he just like evaded 2 defenders in Georgia or like the bobbling catch was just unbelievable for this guy. I never knew it was possible to be this good this young. Never.
Yeah, it's absurd.
I've been saying like how good Ryan Wingo's going to be at Texas. Ryan Williams is like far above that. It's damn near impressive seeing someone that good.
I'd agree with that. Yeah. I think I was just going to say, I think that the quarterback situation here, Sanders and Milroe, one, to not have Milroe ranked, I mean, shit, dude, here's the other side of it to defend him. Milroe got, last year, was not the quarterback he is today. He got benched in a game. He was a great teammate. He was a constant professional, stayed true, let a naysayer know. I think we all were rooting for him. But what he did last night was he went from like a third round pick to potentially the number 1 overall pick. He didn't go ahead.
PFT had him as like a third, fourth round guy like coming into this year. I don't think they've updated the big board yet, but yeah, that's kind of like where he was.
He proved he's accurate. He proved he is a good pocket passer. Just because he's athletic doesn't mean he runs, but when he runs, he's the fastest person on the field.
Well, why are we making this connection now compared to last year?
Because it hasn't worked, really. Last year, he was a running college quarterback. This year, he's a pocket passer that can throw a dime.
Okay.
He could hit a fucking snowflake off a rat's eyelash. It's not a saying.
What?
You're welcome.
Where did you hear that before?
What? I made it up right now.
You just made it up?
Yeah.
Bullshit. You heard it from somewhere.
Never heard that. A snowflake off a rat's eyelash. Yeah, that's tiny.
That's pretty good.
That's a super small window.
Okay. No, okay. If I'm thinking back to last year, like I can see it because I do remember him getting benched against USF.
Yep.
I do remember him like taking it in stride, leading Alabama like the rest of the way to that SEC championship game, and I do distinctly remember him just getting walloped by Michigan in the Rose Bowl. So maybe that left some bad taste in people's mouths about what we could expect from Milroe. But that is fair. Like, I think the game on the national stage that he had against a very good Georgia defense that has pros all over that, and watched him like just pick that defense apart with his passing, which is something that not a lot of people expected.
No.
I think that's fascinating. I find it a little kind of early to be giving him number 1 QB raise after that. I think the message that we can put on this is that in a big game situation, Jalen Milroe is up. I think that's the key right there.
Yep.
But I'm curious to see how the rest of the season goes and how we look at the quarterbacks the rest of the way as well. Because I'll be honest with you, I think Shedeur Sanders is extremely talented, but I can't judge him for the season because that offensive line he's playing behind is absolute garbage. So
we will touch on that. I have to use the restroom. So, Greg, I'm going to play the screen with my dad on it that has the monkey song until I get back.
Okay.
Yeah, so next line up here, thank God you have pants on, I didn't even look.
Thank God.
Okay, so another guy that I've only heard of due to today's mock draft and 2 other guys who will join our illustrious conversation here. So number 14, Greg, is Nick Scourton, defensive end, Texas A&M, previous ranked 24, so a big jump for him.
Okay. I have not seen much of his tape, honestly, so I don't.
How would you watch A&M?
Yeah, I mean, like, I can't blame you. I think I watched A&M. I watched them the first week get get absolutely just have their heart broken out by Notre Dame, and then Notre Dame fall flat on their face the next week. So, like, I have nothing to judge A&M on. By the way,
he had 2 sacks, 4 tackles, and a loss, or a forced fumble. Sorry.
Okay. By the way, as you were away, I'm on my phone, obviously, like doing this, and then I see an alert from Chipper come down and say, "Why the monkey song?" in all question marks. So he's asking me. He's asking me why the monkey song. I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like, wow. It's your son.
Well, I had to use the restroom, Chipper. Is he watching now?
He must be if he's asking me why you picked the monkey song.
Yeah. I got a new case, and I can't call anybody now because it blocks the mic, which is like, I don't understand how the fuck a case does that, so I got to figure that out. 15. Previously 13, Carson Beck, quarterback, Georgia. And 16, previously 15, quarterback, Miami, Cam Ward. So the ranking now goes, if you will remember so kindly, Shedeur Sanders, Jalen Milroe, Carson Beck, Cam Ward. And might I add a fifth, Greg? 17, Quinn Ewers, Texas.
Okay. I think, by the way, I think everyone in the chat, when you sent that this morning, we're all in agreement that Cam Ward going to the Vegas Raiders would be a perfect pick. And that's
so, yeah. So just to I don't even know. I think I have it on here. I'll see if I do. By
the way, was that your mock that you did, or did you get that from
No, that was mine. I did that.
Oh, that was yours? Okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
It's a mock draft where I had pretty much every pick correct, of course. 2-factor authentication, of course. I can't just log into anything fucking ever. Chip just tried to call me. Oh boy. Facebook code 8.
You're on sensory overload right now.
7, 8, 9. I can do it. I need another tablet. Something went wrong. No, it didn't. All right, I am going to pull up this mock. Skip for now. Fuck you. You're cool. Fuck you. Open a messenger because I got to get to the media. Don't care about that. Cancel. One time. I just don't care.
Media overload right now, man. God damn.
No. I'm doing it. Hold on.
All right. I trust you.
And boom.
Okay, cool.
I have the power. Well, now I got to put it on screen.
Have the power.
Here is the media. Boom. Yeah, here's the mock draft. It is on the screen now. Now I gotta see if Chipper messaged me. Cause it's Chipper.
Hey, Chipper.
I'm gonna see if he can. I'm sorry. I am on overload.
Breathe.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You watching the show?
Yeah.
Weren't you at dinner?
We were.
You got home?
Yeah.
How was dinner?
Oh, it was okay.
Okay. All right. Thanks for watching. Love you.
Love you too. Tell Greg, when I text him, he can answer me.
Damn, Greg.
What?
He said, "Tell Greg when he when I text him, he can answer me."
I'm using
how many missed texts you got,
now,
Chipper? Like, how many texts have you sent Greg that he hasn't replied back to?
One
today.
But you've never texted him and he hasn't responded? He's pretty bad at texting.
Oh, shut up.
He normally responds.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, he said he's using his phone for the show, you jag-off.
Oh, my God. I didn't know we were on limited technology on that side of Pittsburgh.
Yes, we are. I'm a cheapskate.
Right, I love you. Bye-bye.
Love you. Bye.
He torched your ass.
Dad's an asshole.
He torched your ass. He said unlimited-sided technology. All right.
I know.
The mock draft here, yeah. This is one I did today, Greg, which, if we're going off of Mel's standards, has the number 1 quarterback at 3. I definitely put Milroe in the first, no?
You had to have. I can't.
I guess not. Maybe not. You know what it was? I guarantee he's not there on that app.
This is not a true mock, man. This is not a true mock.
Oh, that means we have to do a mock tonight, a back-to-back mock of just guessing. Yeah, no, but that's super funny. I don't know where I would have. I probably would have. Let's be realistic here. This morning I wasn't, really crazy for him. I could see him going to the Browns at 5 in my mock. I could see him going as the Dolphins pick there instead of Quinn Ewers. And I very much, I could see him going probably not the Bucs. I could definitely see him going 17 to Seattle. So he would have 100 trillion% been in here if I. Yeah, that's crazy.
For Milroe, okay, that's interesting. I'm trying to think what would be like an ideal situation for the game that he plays, because he's very.
I think Miami would be fun.
Miami would be fun. I was thinking, like, because I mean, we didn't expect Jaden Daniels to be like hit the ground running necessarily.
Yeah, he's the best quarterback in football right now.
Yeah, but the way he plays his game kind of suits that, how they set up their team. Like they added a bunch of backs. He's very accurate. He doesn't take a lot of deep chances, but when he does, he's usually it's usually in good timing in that situation.
Tell me about the Browns at 5.
Which, by the way, Scary Terry might have a career year this year, the way that he's playing, and he got off slow.
He got off terrible.
But no, I think the Browns at 5 would be interesting, especially because they're a run-heavy offense. The only thing that's interesting about that is the way Joe Flacco ran that offense last year was very smart, because he didn't pass a lot. He was very careful with how he used the passing, because they relied on the running game. And they relied on the running game with only a third and fourth string back, if I remember correctly. So that speaks a lot to how good that offensive line was. Milroe would be interesting because if he's focused primarily on just being a pocket passer, he would fit very well in that offense.
Yeah.
But I would be curious if they would use more of a zone read type offense with him potentially, because I think he would fit that scheme very nicely like he would in Miami.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Break down other parts of this mock that I do believe in. I do believe Carson Beck's going to have a super big bump. He's one of those guys. Okay, so actually, he's one of those guys. Amazing. Somebody had been asking me if he could ask me a question earlier today, and I said yes, and he just replied, and I want your opinion.
Okay, go ahead.
Who is one NFL player that, in your mind, is as close as possible to being a Hall of Fame player and without actually being one? For me, it's Donovan Mitchell. Donovan McNabb. I'm so sorry.
I was like, whoa. What?
No, I'm sorry. I'm trying. You're right. I said we're discussing on air. I'll answer after show here. And now I'm putting my phone down.
I know, like the cat trade is on your brain, but like, goddamn, dude.
All the time. Who is the player in the NFL that is the closest to the to the Hall of Fame without being in it?
Closest without being in it.
Yeah.
I don't want to give a cop-out answer, because like if I'm giving a cop-out answer, it's Travis Kelce. Like he's up.
Wow.
He's first ballot tight end. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's probably
no. Greg. The player who is good enough, like the best that will not get in.
Oh God. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. Like I didn't understand.
You're like Patrick Mahomes. No, the best player, like somebody like Donovan McNabb, is so fucking good at football, but he's not. He's not a Hall of Famer.
Okay. So a guy who's essentially
this guy will not make the Hall of Fame, but man, was he good.
The Hall of Very Good, essentially, is what we're going at. Okay.
Roddy White.
Well, I thought you said current player. I didn't realize.
Donovan McNabb is the example.
Okay. Sorry. Fuck.
No, you're good. We're just naming names. We're not picking like our thing, but I think Roddy White is that one of those guys. I think Ted Ginn Jr., if you don't count his receiving stuff, he might get his special teamer.
As a return guy, yeah. You know what? Now that like Devin Hester and like
maybe not.
Wait,
fucking being already shit.
I mean, would you put Dante Hall in there? Because is Dante Hall a Hall of Famer? I don't think he is.
I don't think so. We could talk about current guys too. You can give projections. Let's open this up.
Yeah.
I mean, respectfully, Myles Garrett. Will he be a Hall of Famer?
With stats, no.
That's what I'm saying. I think, like, respectfully, obviously, to everything, I think TJ with stats is a Hall of Famer. I think Myles Garrett with stats is not a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, like, he'll get in if he with accolades, he might get in, or something. But aside from that, no, I'm with you. I'm trying to give. Is there anyone who's been like, just around a long time that you just kind of think like model of consistency or something like that?
Andy Dalton.
Yeah, Red Rifle. Yeah.
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Bro, if there was a hall of like longevity, he would be like first ballot, hands down. My God. God, I'm trying to think. Hall of like very good. Like Brandon Marshall, Brandon Marshall was like really good. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer though.
That's a good name.
Yeah. Like he would like there were some points like he put up some damn good numbers.
AJ Green.
Oh man.
AJ Green. That's my answer.
Talent,
I think that's my answer.
My God, was he good when he was in his prime?
I think that's like my big name right now.
He tailed off like very quickly.
Well, yeah, when he left Cincy and went to Arizona, he was not the same guy.
Yeah,
but there was a 5-year span where he was like arguably the best receiver in the league.
Actually, I feel like this would be disrespectful, but only because of like the last couple of seasons.
You say Cooper Kupp, I'll punch you.
I was gonna ask D-Hawk.
Oh, wow! Was he better than AJ Green in his prime? Maybe.
He was, but if you think about it, like
damn.
Well, think about it. Like D-Hop had like 2 to 3 really good years in Houston. He goes to Arizona. He had maybe 1 good year in Arizona, then got suspended. And now is in Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, is there like a Hall of Fame tracker or something? Fuck. Let's see.
That would be fun.
He has currently, from 2013 into this current year at this moment in time, he has 938 receptions on 1,519 targets. He has 12.4K receiving yards. He averages 13.3 receiving yards a game. 75.2 receptions is that. He has 79 receiving touchdowns, 21 rushing yards, which is kind of sick. Are those Hall of Fame numbers? I don't know.
I don't know. He's been in the league for
10 years.
Yeah, 10 years.
This is his 11th season.
Yeah. Are those Hall of Fame numbers? I don't think so.
No.
I don't feel like they are.
I mean,
it's a very Brandon Marshall-esque career.
He would be in if not for injuries and a suspension during the 21 and 22 season. That's fair.
It is fair, yeah. Which like we're not. I don't want to knock like a suspension or anything, like because there's definitely Hall of Famers that have been suspended before. I don't think that's a knock whatsoever. But if you think about it, like Hall of Famers, like they have the longevity and the consistency. So
well, here's some things. SI.com/Titans did a story on this exact case at the beginning of the season. They said it would seem that Hopkins has a strong case for Canton, but he may not be there just yet. CBS Sports has 9 analysts vote on the Hall of Fame candidacy of several star players, and Hopkins earned 4 votes, 1 short of majority. Hopkins would likely be a shoo-in for the Hall of Fame if not for injuries and a suspension during the 21-22 seasons. At this point, Hopkins' career stats are very similar to the ones compiled by former Steelers great Hines Ward, who is still waiting for his call to Canton, CBS Sports' Brian Ardetto writes. So his stats are similar to Hines Ward's, and Hines still waiting, and I would say Hines is more worthy of the Hall of Fame.
Well, also what's impressive about that too is that Hopkins did it in a shorter time frame than Hines did too.
Well, I don't think they're saying the totals. I think they're saying the stats.
Oh, the similar numbers. Okay. Yeah, especially now too, because like Hop's not, which sucks because like goddamn, he was so good when he was like in his prime, but like he's not a number 1 right now in Tennessee. He's probably
writing in the chat. We think Hopkins.
Okay, yeah, I think
that is as good a pick. Because let's go through the quarterbacks. He said, "Shit, I still don't know how to watch. Listen, I should send a link."
Yeah. Go through quarterbacks like right now who are, and here's what sucks too with quarterbacks is that the quarterback stats are so inflated now that it almost feels like every quarterback could potentially be a Hall of Famer.
Carr. You lying fuck. If you tell me Derek Carr's a Hall of Famer, I won't disagree with you. I just won't agree with you. You know what I mean?
Who, me?
Yes. If you tell me Derek Carr's a Hall of Famer.
No, I don't think he is. Because like we talked about this, he had one elite year that he wasn't able to finish.
MVP level elite year that he got hurt.
Yes,
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, like goddamn, like he should have been a Hall of Famer, but like he could be a Hall of Famer if he was an MVP candidate, but like,
yeah.
But he's not.
Let's jump back to the draft, the mock. I want to talk to you about the Steelers pick. Here's my question for you. So I took Emeka Egbuka out of Ohio State. The dude had like 7,000 yards in a bowl game one time. I still think he's a freak of nature. I love the receivers in this class. I had T-Mac going to Arizona, so they actually have a receiver for throwing to, and then Luther Burden to the Commanders. They lose John Dotson. They have Terry still, who's killing it now. But I had Emeka to us. I know we normally land in that second round with our receivers. To me, I do think our biggest concern as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan right now is our running game, and primarily Najee Harris. I want nobody on the planet Earth to succeed more in life than Najee for what he does for the homeless community, for how awesome he is, for what a great guy he is. But eventually, Greg, we have to produce on the ground. And I understand he had a couple 1,000-yard seasons, and I love Najee Harris, and I think he's a beast. But we can't keep using him as a pretend workhorse when Jalen is producing more yards, and we don't even feel strongly that Jalen Warren is the right guy.
I think the next 3 games are going to be somewhat get-right games for Najee.
Okay.
The reason I say that,
I hope.
I saw a stat today that the Steelers in the first 4 games actually had played against the toughest rushing defenses out of the entire 4-game stretch for everyone this year. The Falcons, I believe, are the 16th best rushing defense. Mm-hmm. The Broncos are like 7. The Chargers are 6th, and I believe the Colts are 4.
Colts are the highest paid defense in football too.
Yeah, which is crazy. So, which is, I think, probably leads to a lot of the dissatisfaction with Najee. But the next 3 games I believe they have are against the Cowboys, who we've all seen get torched on the ground.
Injuries galore as well.
The Raiders, who also can't stop anyone on the running game, and the Giants, who are the Giants.
Yeah.
I truly, and the Jets, by the way. The Jets are another team in that situation that I don't believe have necessarily the best rush defense either. So I think this next 4-game stretch is going to be very, very telling for Najee in general, especially because
I do.
Especially because we've been on record saying that like the Steelers need to start off strong this year because the second half of the schedule is brutal. It is absolutely
it's a
brutal.
Terrible schedule once again for us.
Yeah. Now in fairness, it's gotten a lot better as the season has gone on. I don't think the Bengals defense is that good. The Browns defense might give us trouble.
They have a very S-tier defense.
The Ravens defense is going to obviously be a struggle.
But amazing defense year after year.
But the Eagles defense is not something that I think is going to be that much of a challenge. The Chiefs defense looks very good, but I think they're very beatable.
Did you see Belichick's comments on the Eagles?
On the Eagles? No, I did not.
He said, I just don't. It was on the Pat McAfee show. He basically said, I don't believe they're one of the elite teams. Everyone keeps saying they're one of the elite teams. He said, you lost 10 of your last 12 games. Like, I think you're a bad team. Dude.
No punches back. I love it.
Well, here's the thing is, like, he's right. Like, we keep going, oh, no, the Eagles do. The Eagles are sick. The Eagles are amazing. You've lost 10 of your last 12 football games.
Right.
And you're telling me really, like, yes, A.J. Brown's been hurt. You added Saquon Barkley, arguably the best running back in football. You may have lost Kelsey, but you also have his absolute chosen replacement in Cam Jurgens.
Right. That's a top 5 offensive line in the NFL.
That's where I'm at is like, dude, and I keep hammering this home, Greg. Nick Sirianni is dead. Nick Sirianni is gone. It is so quickly about to be a coordinator's game because this team is too good for what the fuck is happening there.
Yeah. Do you have faith in
Kellen Moore?
Yeah.
If I do, I think the team obviously does, and I do. But the other frustrating thing here, I do. I think that he's still like a super sexy pick. He's still the guy of the future. He's still there. The interesting thing, though, is that if they don't trust him, they'll go with Vic fucking Fangio.
Well, I mean, like, I think I was the one that after, like, that first, like, month season where, like, the Cowboys put up insane numbers, and I think I was the one that was preaching the choir.
But you convinced me.
Yeah, that Kellen Moore was going to be a head coach somehow, some way soon, and then the Cowboys just collapsed near the end. Part of it was probably based on, like, the defense at the time when you think about it.
When's the last time the Cowboys' defense was good?
I mean, they were okay last year with Dan Quinn, but then they got destroyed in the playoffs. So.
But I'm saying around the time we're talking about.
Right.
When you were pounding the table.
I was pounding the table, for Kellen Moore. But then they got rid of Kellen Moore because they wanted to run the ball more and stuff. And Kellen Moore goes to the Chargers and
lights it the fuck up.
Yeah, he did. The Chargers were terrible, but the Chargers were bad because that defense was Swiss cheese, in fairness. So I think there's going to be I think he can put up a good offense. Is he a good head coach? We'll see. But I do agree with you that I feel like if they let go of Sirianni, they're going to lean towards Fangio as the head coach.
Yeah, I'm very cool with whatever happens because here's the thing, too. If they lean towards Fangio as the head coach, he's going to go, yep, Kellen, you run the offense, I'll run the defense. Head coach, and he has final say, but he's not going to change the offense. He's going to let Kellen Moore explore what Kellen Moore wants to do now, but Sirianni won't let him do.
Here's a question I'm curious about. So, like, me and you both made predictions on the NFL on the TFTB NFL season preview extravaganza, which was also known as Josh's second goodbye episode. Which, by the way, just going to point this out something real quick. So,
hasn't watched a single episode.
Well, right before Friday night, I went to Carmela's. I was grocery shopping, and I was texting Lance for a second because there was something at the store that like I knew she liked and all that was like randomly there.
Yeah.
And we're talking for a little bit, and she said to me, "How have you been?" I told Josh he should do the show again because he's just not doing anything right now. And I said, absolutely. There's one less thing that is needed in this world, and that is Josh deserving a third goodbye show.
Dude,
let's be clear.
It's so funny to me.
He is not getting a third goodbye show. I'm sorry.
He
can't do that.
So here's what I will say nicely about Josh.
Yeah.
One, he hasn't watched a single show, which is crazy to me because I know he's just not doing anything. The flip of it, I love you, Josh. The flip of it though, when he cried this time, I was like, oh, he's actually. I didn't think he was being super serial. I get the want to be done, but like also at the same time, I don't think kids would make me stop. It would make me prioritize what I'm doing and when I'm doing, and we'd probably move to an hour.
It would make you get organized more. Yeah.
Oh, the fuck it would, yeah.
Well, yeah, I've been fascinated seeing like friends of mine that have kids and how like immediately like different they are. They're the same people, don't get me wrong. Like they're still the same people that I would like talk shit to, that I would act like my friends with, but it's just now like seeing them like have responsibilities and stuff is kind of eye-opening. It makes you like kind of think to yourself like, wow, like these are actual like grown-ups and stuff more than just my friends. They have to be responsible for people, you know, like they're still the same people, you know, it's just added different responsibility. But brings me back to that. We talked on the TFTB season preview. Me and you have different opinions about the head coaches that are getting fired midway through the season. Ooh. You have Johnny. I have Robert Saleh. I'm just pointing out that after the first month of the season, because we're at the halfway point for our predictions, both teams are 2-2. Yeah. Both teams are coming off bad losses, by the way. Well, I actually don't even know if I want to call the Eagles' loss bad because they were losing. So they didn't have a lot of their guys, but they lost to the Red Hot Buccaneers.
It's bad.
The Jets lost to the Broncos at home in bad conditions, by the way, but still lost to the fucking Broncos. Like, which
I would say, as a Steelers fan, the Broncos are elite.
Fair. Yes, that is true. We beat a very damn good defense.
Yes,
but
thank you.
Which of the two are closer to getting axed, though?
Dude, for me, it's 100 trillion % Sirianni. Here's why. It stretches into last season. Last season, for Saleh, he didn't have his guy. He didn't have his system. He didn't have this. He didn't have that.
He didn't have his cadence, you know? Didn't understand the cadence of it. Yeah.
Well, I guess my big issue is how do you improve at quarterback, which should make defense respect to the throw, and you have a yards per carry with Breece Hall that's at like 2.7 or something. It's crazy.
You mean Braylon Allen?
No, Braylon Allen has a 4.8 yards per carry. Breece Hall has like a 2.7.
Which is wild.
Put in the big dude. Look, here's the frustrating thing about running backs in the NFL, Greg. I sat there and I tried to tell Dre that Raz score is cute and it doesn't mean jack shit. And every time we go up to the draft 2 years ago, Breece Hall. Last year, Breece Hall. Dude, he's healthy. He has Aaron Rodgers. What is his excuse? He's bad at football. A Raz score does not mean you're good at football.
I mean, Raz score simply says you're a damn good athlete.
Dude, Cordell Patterson's a damn good athlete.
That's true, and he was just like
Samuel's a damn good, yeah.
Deebo Samuel's a damn good athlete. Thank you for coming around on that. Just saying. And also, by the way, I'm also gonna plant my case too because Braylon Allen is a Wisconsin running back, and I'm going to also continue to preach that Wisconsin knows how to breed running backs and offensive linemen.
You didn't like Jonathan Taylor.
I did not.
Okay, so don't.
Did not. I did not at the time. I'm not denying it, but I'm saying I was wrong, and I would gladly be wrong.
I did not. Yeah, you said I don't know if he's an NFL running back, man. And I said I think he's going to be the best running back in the league.
I thought he was a college system running back at like the entire time, but man, did he prove me wrong.
I want to pull up
he proved me wrong.
Jonathan Taylor draft. I want to look at the running backs in his class.
Was that the it wasn't Najee's draft class, right? 2022? No, Taylor's been in the league longer than that, I think.
I don't know why. Show me the fucking
because if I remember
draft
Taylor was 2021?
2020.
2020? Okay.
He was the 41st. So I'm pulling up the draft on the Wooka. Actually, I'll pull it up on the screen then.
I don't think he was the first running back taken in that class.
No, I have a guess. My guess, oh fuck, no, I don't. My guess was Etienne, but that was the Najee year.
Yeah, because Etienne went after. Etienne was like the pick before Najee, or something like that. Yeah.
After. Oh, Greg.
Right.
One running back was taken in the first round with the 32nd overall pick.
Oh, was that the Clyde Edwards-Helaire?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So that's Clyde Edwards-Helaire, DeAndre Swift, Jonathan Taylor, Cam Akers, J.K. Dobbins, A.J. Dillon, Antonio Gibson, Keyshawn Vaughn, Lynn Bowden, Zach Moss, Darrington Evans, Joshua Kelly, Lamiko P. Ryan, Anthony McFarland Jr., DJ Dallas, Jason Huntley, Eno Benjamin, Raymond Callis, my dude Malcolm fucking Perry. This will go down as the greatest what-if draft class in NFL history for running backs. Because I'll tell you flat out, what if Clyde? What if Swift? JT with injuries without. What if? Cam Akers, what the fuck? J.K. Dobbins, the greatest yards per carry in NFL history, but just can't stay healthy. A.J. Dillon, what the fuck? Antonio Gibson, great for a year, nothing. Keyshawn Vaughn, what the fuck? Zach Moss, still there somehow. Joshua Kelly, what the fuck? Anthony McFarland, what the fuck? DJ Dallas, what the fuck?
I'm just like picturing this too now because it makes me rethink the running backs because Clyde Edwards-Helaire is like a completely different style back. He's a completely different style back too compared to that. And what's funny, I'm pretty confident like they drafted Helaire and then realized that like his style of play just did not fit their offense at all.
I think he's just a bad running back. Respectfully.
Well, I mean, like I look at him and he doesn't fit like the prototypical like NFL back though.
May I?
Like, go ahead.
What quarterback is better suited to help a unprototypical running back what coach than Andy Reid? Like, Andy Reid gets lineman touchdowns. If there is going to be a running back that works in the NFL and is different, Andy Reid's like a top 3 guy to figure that out.
Yeah, but in fairness, if you look at Clyde, I'm just pointing out, like, if you look at Clyde Edwards-Helaire, the player, though, he's very much kind of
sucks.
He's not. But no. I understand he sucks, but I'm talking about like the style of back he was when they drafted him. Like he was kind of more of a bruising, like, but somewhat between the tackles type. He wasn't necessarily a catch out the backfield type. He wasn't like thin near the legs and like broader up top, kind of like what you see in most style running backs nowadays and stuff. He's kind of like he's like an extremely poor man version of Leonard Fournette.
See, I don't like. Sure, maybe, but the thing is,
but I'm pointing out that like the reason I'm saying that is that it's almost like he's the last of like the dying breed of what we look for in running backs. I feel.
Oh, you think we do look for him?
Yeah. I feel like previous iterations of running backs were like the guys that got in between the tackles and was able to like carry out the ugly yards and stuff like that.
He reminds me of Jonathan Stewart.
Yes, that's a great example. He doesn't fit the Chiefs' offense. The Chiefs are not that type of team. They are very much like it is like very much like pass out the backfield or get out in a wheel route.
Yeah, but Greg, I just think he's bad at football.
That's fine, but like I'm just pointing out like it was a bad pick for the situation because that's not the type of back that excels in the Chiefs' offense, though.
Yeah, maybe.
Like for fuck's sake, they had at one point a 21-year-old white dude with long blonde hair being their lead back at one point this year. Like,
yeah,
they can make any running back their starter because as long as it just fits the type of guy they're looking for to mesh with that offense, like they're not going for an in between the tackles type of guy. It just won't fit for them at all.
Do you like PFF or PFN better? We like PFN, right?
Yeah, PFF's kind of bullshit.
All
Which,
right.
by the way, I'm very grateful that like a lot of people are starting to like get off of PFF, like
yeah,
the PFF bandwagon. Although PFN, I don't know if they've updated their.
They have not.
Yeah, because it's a bit older.
But let's run one real quick, Greg. It's you. We're consenting adults. We can do this.
Are we? I don't know.
Let me fix this. I think I can expand that a little more. Move that there. Shabba rank. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the draft show. The draft next year is where? Green Bay or Vegas?
Green Bay.
And then next year.
And then the year after that, it is back in the home city of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I will be back home for that one. I have let so many people know before the Steelers even got that, Greg. People ask us, hey, do you want to, like, what was the draft like? What was like going to the draft? I loved it. I love hanging out with you. I feel bad Josh got sick. It was super cool to be there. It is something that I will never, ever, ever go to again.
Yeah, I think it was the perfect situation because I love Detroit. I love going to Detroit. And I think the way they set up the draft was beautiful. It was the right situation for the right time. But I do really love watching the draft on TV.
So much more.
I do. Yeah, I love it. I
don't remember the first round.
In fairness, there was a lot of drinking that
I remember Troy. That's it. Yep.
I agree with you. I remember us and also you falling in the same damn trap every year where you look at your phone and you get the pick spoiled before you actually watch.
Which is crazy because we were there. We were literally there.
We were literally there and you got spoiled.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's possible.
I got to see the back of Nick Saban's head. I got to see the back of Pat McAfee's head. I got to watch Josh trip, which sucked because he broke his fucking camera. And we got to go to Shillelagh's.
And you got your jersey, which is fair.
Dude, I wear that thing all the time. That dude's sick.
And they will forever remember us as two dudes.
So that's the thing is I want to go back to Detroit. Chad and I were talking about doing like just a weekend trip. Guys thing, take off Friday, drive up Friday, stay the night, wake up Saturday, hit a bunch of breweries, like just hang out, drive back Sunday. Yeah. Like nothing crazy. It's like 9 hours or like I think it was like 7.5 hours, something like that. It's not terrible. It's just like it's a decision and you do it and you have the fun day. But dude,
by the way, did I hear you correctly on I think on your last episode from Under the Table that you're going to Chicago?
I'm going to Chicago in actually Friday we fly out. So a week from tomorrow. Nice. A week from tomorrow we fly out, we land, we see Brett and Lisa. Kat's friends are in town for a birthday thing, and then I get to watch football with Brett and Lisa.
Nice. I was gonna say, so like, because I love Chicago.
Very excited.
I absolutely love it. I don't know like what your situation's gonna be, but like if you're staying like in the downtown area, you can take the red line literally everywhere, and it's super cheap. You don't need an Uber.
We'll take the blue line from the airport to Brett and Lisa's, I think, and then we have
the red line can literally take you anywhere, and it's super cheap and convenient.
Nice.
I personally, anytime I've been there, I love the Lincoln Park neighborhood, which is like where DePaul University is. I love Wrigleyville, which is like the neighborhood that Wrigley Field is in, and it's awesome. It's like if you put South Side and PNC Park next to it. Pretty sick. But I am hell-bent on saying that the best pizza in Chicago, and I don't care what the fuck Josh says because he is an asshole for not believing this.
Fair.
It is Pequod's.
Okay. You have to text us too, but deal.
It's a mix of pan pizza and deep dish pizza.
The tough thing is, I can tell you flat out, we'll probably not get to eat it because Catherine.
Because of Cat.
Well, not because of Cat, because we. It's a unified front, Greg. I'm gluten free too.
Front?
I might.
Okay.
If she passes out one night, though, I'll go sneak myself. All right, let's do a draft here. We can talk about everything while we're going. Greg, the board is up on the left. The funny thing is, a lot of guys in my dynasty draft, we were talking about it, was kind of pissed off that the Bengals were 22nd and we're 20th. So, sorry, so many burps. Take this order with a grain of salt.
Yeah, it's probably like the early like in season like rankings or in season like
this to me means nothing. Which did you buy into Dre's description of why it was too early to mock, but he said it was always time to mock?
No,
I think he just got caught in a lie.
I have receipts on him saying it's never too early to mock, and he's telling me that it's too early for him to mock. No, he can fuck off. He's just being a party pooper.
I'm playing Josh in fantasy tonight, and Drake London just scored a touchdown.
Nice. I have him on my bench in my one league because I think I put I think that flex spot in my one league is either him, Terry McLaurin, or who's the receiver for the Ravens? Fuck, I never remember. Hollywood Brown, I think.
Oh wow, Kyle Pitts has a 32-yard catch. I bench him in every league. All right, Greg. Pick a number between 1 and 2.
2.
Okay, you are picking second.
Cool.
Order here, picks here. Obviously, Greg, let me know if you need positions or anything, or just the top board here. Top board's on the right. We're coming through in the order it is. Keep in mind the needs. I can read those out to you as well, Greg. A lot of these people, I definitely went through this first mock, and I was like, don't know that guy. Got to watch tape on that guy. Don't know that guy, but he's the top of this position. So we can discuss and figure out. But that means I have one. I am the Panthers. This is a really, really, really tough pick because we know that either A, they don't believe in Bryce, which means they're going quarterback here, or B, they do believe in Bryce and they trade back. So it's kind of like an unfunny, like, pick who you want to pick type selection here, right?
Yeah, it's like, and I mean, like, they have a 2-3-year-old GM and stuff like that. I can't imagine, like, they're going to wipe the floor already completely. So, like, I mean, like, I truly think that the best course of action is trade down and get as much as you
100%.
can.
Agreed.
But it depends on if another team is desperate or not. Like, and that's the thing that I find fascinating about this year's class with quarterbacks. I don't know how many teams actually, like, are going to need or want a quarterback this year, which is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, there's 5 that are first rounders, and the rest are not. And is the easy way to word it. So, I don't disagree. Josh has been watching a lot of tape, which is great. He's been texting us about guys. Like, big fan of a lot of the guys in there. I think there's conversations about guys. Bo Nix went 10th overall. So who the fuck knows? First overall, though, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, and I will select Travis Hunter first overall here, Greg, thinking in the same alignment with you, which is the Panthers are not going to give up on that quarterback because that would be a failed system. That would be a completely failed organization as a whole. So give them the best two-way player we've maybe ever seen. who comes in as a corner. So that is the first corner ever taken first overall, I believe. So you're up for the Patriots.
Yep. Is he going to be? I feel like he's going to be the first guy ever to be taken as a two-way player. I feel it, man.
It depends on the team, but I agree.
I feel it. He's going to get drafted as an athlete, which would be wild if that's the case.
Yeah.
This one's easy. I think for the Patriots, especially after they just traded Matt Judon to get out of that contract, I think they need to rebuild that pass rush. And I think, I know the tape on like Abdul Carter is definitely there and stuff, but I think this one's kind of easy, and I think he's got the talent for it. I'm gonna go James Pierce.
Wow. Okay. So realistically, I thought about Pierce at 1. I just know that they wouldn't be able to actually grow him into anything that's respectable, which sucks.
He's not an elite level talent like Garrett or Clowney or Anderson were necessarily.
Elite level production talent.
Fair, but I think he'll test decent in terms of the traits that he wants, and I mean, like if you have a pass rusher that's able to put up well, and I think they run a 4-3, which is probably his best as well. So like I think that'll be a good fit for him.
You know what? For this one, for our current mock right now, I'm going to run under the pretense that New York is not the media capital of the world. And I'm going to go as the New York Football Giants with Jalen Milroe. Quarterback, Alabama, 3rd overall. Here's why. If Shedeur is going to bring a headache, you're now in the NFL. And if he's going to make a headache, cool. I just don't care. He hasn't done anything that has made me go, he has to be taken. Now, granted, to your point and mine, he's only played with one elite player, whereas Milroe has played with maybe 20 elite players. So there's a fair, reasonable thing there. I think he's a headache. I think Shedeur is an amazing quarterback. I think that he is arguably the most talented quarterback in this class. I think that the whole we won't play for you thing is weird. So then I go, okay, who's next? Beck looks like a project. Ewers looks like he has a very low ceiling, despite being my favorite prospect in this class. He's not going to ever be Mahomes, but he genuinely could be a Derek Carr. For me, Milroe for the Giants offers something they've never had that they had success with. And what I mean by that is Tyrod Taylor. The ability to have an actual athlete run out there and have the ability to move and maneuver. Daniel Jones, freak athlete, when he wants to be, goes for rushing yards crazy. Milroe, arguably the best athlete in the class. Love him there.
Yep. I can't complain with that. And by the way, you bite your tongue because Jimmy Horn's going to be a stud in the NFL. Just saying.
Maybe.
I think he will, man. I think he will. The fact that Joe Horn's kid is on my TV right now playing college football is wild. Actually, no, it's not as wild as Asante Samuel.
Also, wait, why is he making me bite my tongue?
Who?
You said bite your tongue because
Jimmy Horn's going to be an NFL player, and you said that Travis Hunter's the only like elite player. I think Jimmy Horn's going to be an NFL player, and will eventually.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm with you now. Yeah, fair.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you're for the tits.
Ooh. Is the Will Levis experiment like kind of dead in the water right now?
Dude,
or
it's just very interesting. They're playing Will Levis over the Mason Rudolph, which sucks because he looks so. And they're like, you just handed it off. It looks so sick. For me, the Will Levis experiment at the end of the season will be over if he doesn't improve. Like if he doesn't improve, he was a 2nd-round quarterback. He was a good flyer. He had a couple good games. If everything leads the way it's currently going, they will use this pick on a quarterback or bring in some veteran, which the market's gone because Dak got signed.
Right. I think back to when Tennessee was probably like contending really strongly over the last few years, and what did they have at the time? And that was an elite offensive line. And I think I'm going to lean towards Kelvin Banks here. Add some more beef to that offensive line. Yeah. Because why not?
I don't disagree at all. They have Banks as the 2nd after Emory Jones. But, dude, Kelvin Banks, I'm with you. He's Texas. I know what the line does. I know what Ewers been able to do. They're so sick. And, dude, Latham's looked great. Skaronski's looked
I've been so surprised how good he's been.
Yeah. I'm very happy with them.
Yeah, and listen, like as much as like we both thought Skaronski was a great pick for them, I do think if they get Banks, they can slide Skaronski in at guard, which is kind of like where
he's been playing guard.
Oh, he has been?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he has.
Oh, I didn't realize they like I thought they like kept him at tackle or something, but okay. Put Banks and Latham on the sides and Skronsky at guard. That's an elite. That's an elite line to be able to work with, man.
Hold on, I'm pulling up. Their tackles are Latham, and then here's the problem. So they have J.C. Latham, great at tackle. Peter Skronsky, great at guard. Lloyd Cushenberry, great at center. Dylan Radins at guard, who is trash. And Nicholas Petit-Frere at tackle, who is trash.
Ooh.
Trash.
Ooh. I haven't heard that name in a long time.
They don't need a left tackle. Move Latham over to right. Bring in the Texas boy. Be happy.
Yes. Be happy.
All right. I got the Browns. Man, they have tackle, corner, running back, wide receiver, linebacker, but you can't convince me quarterback's not an issue here. Like, you can't convince me they think Deshaun Watson is still the guy, right? Like, I can't be the only one thinking that.
I think they'd rather, because here's the thing, no matter what, that contract is guaranteed. I think they've seen enough to say, like, okay, we'd rather not pay you and win games versus pay you and struggle.
I know what I've seen. I know the tape I've watched, and I know Carson Beck is so good at football. This is the thing, though, Greg. They fucked up with Baker Mayfield. You can't take Carson, who's a project. You can't take Sanders, who's a diva. And you can't take Cam Ward, who's a question mark. Quinn Ewers, quarterback, Texas, goes to the Cleveland Browns here, which would win you a bet.
I would win me a bet.
Which is so originally Greg and I bet Quinn Ewers versus Drake May for last year, but we never specified. We said Drake May will be drafted higher than Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers will be drafted higher than Drake May. And so Quinn has to go top 3, right? May was 3?
Yes, Quinn Ewers has to go at least 3rd.
Yes, to beat him.
Match, because Drake May was 3rd.
Was he 3rd?
He was 3rd. Yeah, went right after Jaden Daniels.
That's fucking wow, man. Yeah, again, don't remember this draft at all. Fuck. I did finally rank the breweries. I want to do more with that.
Did you? Nice.
Yeah. Williams, Daniels, May, Harrison, Alt, Neighbors, Latham, Penix, Penix was the moment I shit my fucking pants.
Wild spot. Penix was the spot when I remember looking at you being stunned.
Dude,
and I didn't know what the hell was going on, and then Penix happened, and then we all reacted in unison.
You're for the Broncos.
Well, don't worry about quarterback in this situation, so thank God for that.
Agreed.
Which I also think they desperately need to add to that offensive line as well too, because like Garrett Bowles, I think is the most overrated tackle in football. I'm sorry, I really do. So I think this one's easy for me. Give me Emory Jones here. I don't know, and here's the thing too. I can't remember who plays left and who plays right between him and Campbell at LSU, but I feel like they're both going to be left tackles in pro football.
Yeah, I would agree with that. They're both. Yeah, this doesn't really say it all, but I know they have such a great situation going on there, dude. It's fucking absurd.
Which, by the way, I'm curious because of when Josh said in the chat like how much he likes Garrett Nussmeier and stuff like that. Like, I'm curious how much of that is based on the fact too that they have a really good offensive line that he gets to play behind.
Fair. Did you see, just because I'm up for the Jags next, did you see the trade rumors with Travis Etienne?
I did not. No. Are they on a fire sale right now, or is that just kind of like
they're 0-4?
Yeah, they are 0-4.
You have Tank Bigsby. Do you really want to break up your quote unquote star quarterback from his college best friend? Maybe.
How much did being away from his rookie year really hurt Travis Etienne in terms of transitioning to the NFL?
He's a top 15, meaning better half of the year. Running back with top 7 upside. Like, he genuinely, he can catch the ball, he can run, he has great vision, great athlete. I love the kid. I think Jacksonville is completely fucked up and ruined him. If I'm looking at a team that would sit there and go, oh, we need to bring Etienne in, man, it's kind of tough. I mean, foresee teams getting him, but there's no team that you're dying to go get that level of running back. You know what I mean?
Right. Like, I don't know many teams. I don't know many like contenders right now that I think are missing a whole.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah. So like or even like a team that's like in the middle of the pack that's missing a running back.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you go to you lean to the Chiefs, but they're such in a wide receiver need that they're going to let Kareem Hunt and Carson Strong run crazy. You go into maybe the Cardinals, but they got Trey Benson behind James Conner, so why would they?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they don't need that situation. Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm up for the Jags, Greg, and this one I think is easy. He's still there. Give me Will Johnson, cornerback, to go in there.
Oh, that's for sure easy right there. And by the way, like, I completely forgot Tyson Campbell was on that team and he got paid like that for
huge
them. So
deal.
Good for him. Yeah. Are the Jags just? What is it about the Jags that, like, for us as like draft nerds, like we look at them as like they're the all-name team, but they don't produce? It's weird.
They infuriate me because they, Josh Allen was a hit, and they had Jalen Ramsey and Miles Jack and Calais Campbell and all this stuff. Oh yeah, well they also had Allen Hurns and Allen Robinson. They perpetually have a revolving door of talent. The organization just sucks. It's as simple as that. Like, even they got to an AFC championship game against the Patriots. Like, they beat us.
Yeah,
that's just a trash org.
I just can't wrap my head around it. Like, they are literally the all-name team every single year in terms of talent, and they cannot put it together. I don't know if it's like they just don't have an identity or they just don't have a certain culture that they expect more from or anything like that. But, like, goddamn, like, every time we look at the roster, it's like, oh, yeah, I know him. I know him. I know him.
Honestly, it's crazy.
Yes.
Like that. All the guys I know.
Like, I forgot Cleavon Chason played for them. I'm like, oh, my God. Like, that's wild to me. So.
You're for the Rams.
Ooh, boy, the Rams have like kind of.
They're so weird.
They are. This one's easy for me. I'm just gonna go Mason Graham because like they desperately need some like presence on that defensive line in the worst way. I think.
Yeah, they have that like 5th-round draft pick from last year, but they.
Yeah. By the way, I'm not saying that like they need like a new Aaron Donald or anything like that. Like, don't get me wrong.
Just
Aaron
help.
Donald will just help. Yeah, they need depth. They need to build their defensive line like the Eagles in a sense and just like build like depth on the line, I think.
Yeah.
Because like here's the thing. Secondary guys, for some reason, they somehow are able to find guys that just are able to like stick. But I think line is where they desperately just need to build depth again. They've done really, and we've touched on this before, they do surprisingly really well in later round picks, which you don't think they would. But I think getting some first round talent on that team will do them wonders.
Agree with that. This one's easy as fuck also, man. I mocked it. I'm doing it again, Greg. Cam Ward. So Carson Beck's still there. Shador's still there. Dart, Aller, Weigman, Jalen Daniels. Fuck them all. Cam Ward, Raiders.
Yes. He would be, if he goes to the Raiders, I think he's Rookie of the Year.
I hope so. I think he is the Jaden Daniels of this draft class. Is how I word it. I don't think he's got the same exact situation or same year or anything like that, but he's the guy where you're like, dude, this is the best quarterback. Stop with the Caleb Williams. Stop with the Carson Beck. Stop with the guys that should be. Just take the best fucking guy.
Cam Ward's also going to start a trend too, I think, moving forward, where we actually see more quarterbacks that stay for all 4 years and maybe longer, and then still get drafted high because teams would rather like, especially in like kind of have a win now situation, they want a more mature quarterback that I think is ready for the pressure.
Where'd he play before Miami?
Incarnate Word was like the first one, and then I don't remember where he was before Miami. I think it was Washington State. I think.
Yes, I feel like that feels right because he had a bunch of injuries, right?
Yes.
Incarnate Word, Washington State, Miami. Yeah.
I don't think he had like Penix style injuries where he tore his ACL 3 times or anything like that. But yes, he did kind of deal with injuries during his college career. Yeah.
He declared for the 2024 NFL Draft via Twitter. He initially declared for the draft at the end of the 23 season, but later decided to use his random eligibility to transfer to Miami. Good decision. The decision was influenced by the opportunity to improve his draft stock and take advantage of the NIL rules and college. Yep. Yeah, I mean, shit, good for him.
Dude, I'm telling you, NIL is going to produce not only better college games because we're going to have older players stick around, but it's also going to produce like older type quarterback and players that go towards the NFL and may be able to produce at an earlier pace than we expected now.
You are up for the Cardinals.
I'm going to go towards defense, and I'm going to go Abdul Carter.
So, I thought about Abdul Carter for number 1 overall when I was considering. Not like, dude, again, we talked about this, not because I know nothing, but because I know Edge is the top pick in those situations, and he seems like he's a freak of nature, so I don't hate that at all. He's like a freak of nature.
He seems like a freak of nature. I'm pessimistic about him at the start, frankly, because like I didn't know like how good he was going to be. Although the first time I heard of Abdul Carter in all seriousness was was Dane Brugler on The Athletic posted his top ranking, and he had Carter like top 3, and I hadn't heard of this guy beforehand. So like I started to like understand he's not Micah Parsons level of athlete, but he's just a really good edge rusher. And I think he's going to like keep getting better as the season goes on. So like I think he'll get top 10 range. And hear me out. When was the last time we remember the Cardinals having a really good edge rusher aside from Chandler?
No idea.
Exactly. So
damn, good point. I just hate Penn State. So I'm up at 11 for the Dolphins. Greg, they have their team needs as guard, defensive tackle, safety, offensive tackle, receiver. Do you agree with that list?
Well, I don't know their guard situation, so like
here's the thing: we just disagree on a human level. Shedeur Sanders, gone here.
Now if that's not an ideal situation for Shedeur, I don't know what.
My point is the fact that this website is treating it as this is a conversation. No. Yeah. Tua is done. Like Tua Tagovailoa is one of the most accurate quarterbacks we've seen in the league in recent history. Arguably, and I'll say this out loud, I know that there are some pretty good ones out there with lefties. Arguably one of the better left-handed quarterbacks we've ever seen. Talent-wise, off the charts. College football, he came in for Jalen and won it in the Natty against Georgia. Like, icon in college. Literal icon. Got benched for Jalen, came back still stronger after that. Tua is just done. I hope so. And, dude, he's so good at football. I've seen too many injuries. Take Shedeur. You can't convince me he wouldn't be having this situation if they keep Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, that's what sucks is like we saw Tua in college. We saw him like we know how elite of a passer is. And
that game was crazy when he got called in 19.
And here's the thing too, like it took them giving him the right coach for him to actually succeed and get the money that he deserves. Agreed. But now it's just like
too much, man.
Yeah, I don't want to see him again. I don't.
I believe that happens, and I take Shedeur. And Shedeur walks into a team with Mike McDaniels where Mike McDaniels extends his coaching life 7 more years. Like, because genuinely, think about it. It's been amazing. This is the best Dolphins team we've seen since Marino. Like, Brian Tannehill was okay.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
And so you keep him. You get a quarterback that he agrees with. Dion loves it. He's in Florida. A big fuck you to Florida State. No income tax as well. Dude is out there wrangling, being a stud in Miami, which is arguably the coolest place to be a stud in.
Right.
I love it.
And I mean, if there is an ideal situation for that, you said I'm going to be able to force where my kid goes. Like how could you not want your kid to be in Miami of all places?
Mike McDaniel's sick. Mike McDaniel's loves Dion. Dion loves Miami. Florida State goes down. Like there's so much sense here. I hope it happens. I hope Miami trades up to 1 and takes him. I hope that happens. Because, Greg, if they keep Tyreek Hill, this team is literally Shedeur away from being who we want them to be.
The sexy, like, splash-heavy team that, like, would be the envious team of the NFL. Yes, I agree.
100%. Fast.
Ferraris everywhere. It'd be amazing.
Dude, it'd be so sick.
It would piss so many people off, but it'd be so great.
You're for the Bears.
I mean, this is obvious. Like the offensive line again. Like just keep bringing guys in to like be able to protect your quarterback. I believe the best available is Will Campbell for LSU.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, just keep going. Darnell Wright, I think will get better. I think he's
been a disappointment.
I think he'll get better as he gets like more acclimated and stuff like that. But keep shoring up that offensive line, protect your quarterback, give me Will
Campbell. Next pick, I'll go fast, dude. I'm sprinting to the board. I am the Colts. Give me Malachi Starks, the best, arguably DB in the class outside of corners. No, Malachi Starks is a fucking stud, dude. He's right up there with the top corners in this class, dude. Yeah. Love him so much. The Colts should sprint.
Yeah, his game is like he's
ball hawk, dude. He's awesome.
He is. He's very ball hawk heavy, which is something that would fit that defense so good. They've done a very good job like building that front seven.
Agreed. Lots of
area. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, but if you get some guys in that secondary, that'd be a fun situation there.
You got the Chargers up. They got cornerback, DT, center, edge, tight end. Wow.
What I really
that was the most "the spirit is leaving my body" sound I've ever heard in my entire life.
You're welcome. Well, the reason's because like if he was healthy, I think the dude from East Carolina, Siobhan Randall.
Oh, okay. So I just learned about him today and did a bunch of.
If he was healthy, fuck, I wish he would have been perfect in that spot. I
like him for the Steelers.
I do too. I really do. He's got it. I like if he recovers from ACL nicely. Yeah. I think he would be a great pick there. I don't know how the rest of the offensive line class looks, so like I can't really make judgments too much on that one. I do think they've started to kind of like veer away from receivers.
That's where I'm at. Is my question for you is when I noticed that quarterback wasn't there for the Dolphins, I said it has to be that. The Chargers don't have any receivers, and Quentin Johnston has looked good, which is a testament to Justin Herbert.
Yeah, but I think that's also the run heavy approach they've done to like open up the passing game to a degree. So I think that helps. So I would lean towards I'm going to go receiver in this case, but I'm going Luther Burden.
Yes. Okay. Perfect. No, I'm very cool with that because Quentin Johnston is a bigger body type, so him and McMillan would make sense. That Burton's a good pick here. I'm aligned with that because we got McConkey and
everything type guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I would love. I think T-Mac is a good like physical type guy that would be very nicely.
It's a style pick.
Yes, it is very much a style pick. Like he needs Herbert needs like the reliable like.
It reminds me of Corey Davis, Mike Williams.
Okay.
Why not?
I mean, Corey
Davis was the route runner. He was nimble. He was better fit. Mike Williams was big. Mike Williams was deep.
You know what? That's fair. I'll give you that. Yeah. I mean, like it sucks because like Corey Davis shouldn't have been the number 5 overall pick.
Don't think about that. I'm talking about as prospects, not as NFL players. As prospects, those picks were amazing.
Yes, that's fair. They were opposites of each other. Yes, like Corey Davis was like the slot route runner guy. Mike Williams was the bigger body guy. Yeah. We'll absolutely give you that.
Good. All right. I am up for the Bucs. Cornerback, linebacker, edge, wide receiver, running back. I don't know. I still feel like they need a little bit of everything, which is fine. This came down to just genuinely when I was mocking to go edge here. I still don't disagree with that. I don't really know too much about Morrison. I know he's the next cornerback off the board, but I don't know, man. Fuck it. How much longer does Mike Evans have? Give me T-Mac.
I like it. He shouldn't. Here's the other thing. He's definitely going to get another 1,000-yard season this year if he stays healthy. That's sure.
Dude, he's so good at football. It just I like Godwin. He's not great. I think that they have something in Baker.
Which, by the way, can we also talk about the fact too? Like, while like he's had so many 1,000-yard seasons, that's also a testament to how good he's been to stay healthy.
That's impressive.
That's impressive.
That to me get like durability at that level. He's a Hall of Famer.
And how big you are too, which is very hard to do.
He's
so like no, yeah, you know what? That's fair. Here's the difference. Like Mike Evans may only have one Super Bowl. He'll never be known as the guy that like dominated a year or something like that. But he's like the perfect example of like consistency and production.
Dude, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He made Johnny Manziel look good.
Yeah. If you were to tell me that Mike Evans was going to be the Hall of Famer over Julio Jones, I would have called you a liar.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you got the Commanders.
I wish.
You would step back from that ledge, my friend. Thank
you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you for thanking me.
I can't see the board right now, but you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna add to that defense, and I'm gonna go with the boy that you brought up earlier from A&M. Give me Nick Gordon.
Nick Gordon, perfect pick.
Yeah, defensive lineman, definitely something that Dan Quinn could use more of, I think. And bro, Commanders could win the NFC East this year based on how everything's turning out.
Dude, that would be good.
Wild.
They're so good at football.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, my prediction of the Cowboys being in last place in the East is looking close. Looking close.
Love it. Wow. I don't he's not on this board.
Who?
Jalen Milroe.
Oh, he's got to be.
Dude, Carson Beck. I'm on quarterbacks, okay? Carson Beck, Jackson Dart, Drew Aller, Connor Wegman, Jalen Daniels, Garrett Nussmeier, Kyle McCord, Riley Leonard, what still says QB Duke. It still says QB Duke.
I think because you picked Jalen Milroe early. You picked him at 3.
Oh my God, thank you. Why does it still? Oh my God, thank you. Why does this say Riley Leonard Duke?
This has not been updated yet. This has not been updated in a while.
First and foremost, fuck. So sorry. I thought I had a sleeper pick. Second off, though, not necessarily a bad thing. All right. Fuck it. He sucks. Carson Beck. Seattle Sounds.
Hear me out. Like at that
good
pick,
catch,
that's
though,
a good
man. Thank you for calling me out on that. Fuck.
Good spot for him, I'd say.
I would say this is crazy value. He will be a top 10 pick, easy, throw money at it. This would be a slam dunk, like a absolute dream come true. No matter, even if Geno wins the MVP this year, this is a great pick.
Yeah, because I think the Seahawks are a model of consistency. Like I think the worst season they've had in the last 10 years is 8-9.
Yeah.
So I think so like that's something you can't hate. If you want to build a bridge to the next guy, I think Geno would understand that.
Agreed.
He got his back. He's okay.
You are up for the Saints.
I do think they're a run-heavy team right now, so that's good. Actually, Boise State running back, Jonte.
Oh yeah.
Give me him.
Damn, why him for the Saints?
Alvin Kamara's getting up there, man. He is. Like he's a couple more years left, I think, and I think they're a run-focused offense to begin with, and we just touched on how the two-back system could work. If you want to do a two-back system, why not pair him with a running back that plays opposite of his style altogether?
Damn, yeah, true.
And I mean, you could get someone to like be prepared to like take over for Derek Carr, but I'm just saying, Derek Carr knows what he's doing. I think he does.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
I'm jealous. You get to do the Steelers, which means I am the Falcons, which means I'll take away the easy pick, which is Benjamin Morrison, cornerback. The Falcons have 2 cornerbacks now. You are up for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have cornerback, DT, wide receiver, QB, OG.
Okay. So I'm gonna need some help with the board right now. So who are the top 5 available, real quick?
Just Michael Williams, Georgia, edge. Siobhan Rivell, cornerback, East Carolina. Colston Loveland, tight end, Michigan. Princely, Onomalabala, edge, Ole Miss. Isaiah Bond, wide receiver, Alabama.
Thank you.
Yeah, I worked on those.
I told you, like, if he was healthy, I'd love Siobhan Rivell. But I'm just gonna take board. Give me Mikael Williams. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. As much as I think everyone is going to talk about how they need a wide receiver too, I think the thing they also really need to focus on now is that, okay, we know when Cam is done. We got to start getting more guys on that line to figure out the replacement.
Edge is interesting because I feel like that's always going to be the Highsmith Watt. But I believe in you, and I believe in what you're thinking. Fuck, I want to do running back. I am the Cowboys. And the Cowboys need wide receiver, running back, QB, cornerback, linebacker. I'm falling here that they don't understand that Dak was re-signed, so ignoring that one. I do think the one thing that was missing was a genuine run game. And I think that if you're going through the running backs in this class, I think Genty's awesome. Genty's super cool. I do think there's wear and tear, but not for me. I don't really think that way. It's just a thing. But the best running back in college football is Ollie Gordon.
Ooh, that's true.
And he is Oklahoma State, and nothing would piss off the state of Oklahoma more than the Dallas Cowboys having Ollie Gordon.
A cowboy to a cowboy. Like, awesome. It could be worse. It could be worse. Just saying.
It's awesome. You got the Bengals.
Ooh. Okay. I think they need to, like, rebuild that defensive line, like, ASAP. My God, are they getting gashed, like, really quickly on there. I believe there's a defensive tackle from Kentucky that's on the board still.
Defensive tackle.
Like
from Kentucky is Deon Walker.
Deon Walker. Thank you. DT for Kentucky. Yeah.
Huh.
I've been playing around with this for a while. Unlike some people in the group chat who thinks it's too early.
Well, you could be doing it right now in real time, and then you would have every pick. But
but I'm also I know, but I'm also trying to test myself to see how many guys I remember. So.
All right, fair, touche. Mm-hmm. The Jets need quarterback, tight end, wide receiver, offensive tackle, cornerback. A weird slew of shit, but I know that there's only one guy that I care about in this category, and that is, oh my God, did this crash? Oh my God, the website crashed. Get out. It crashed.
Oh, man.
It was Loveland.
It was Loveland? Yeah, that's a great.
I can't make this up, though. It crashed at 8 o'clock.
That's damn near perfect.
Fuck.
Can't do anything about it.
That
Can't do anything about it.
Loveland.
It sucks, but it's kind of like fate telling you, like, okay, you've had enough.
Seriously, that was some ghost shit.
That was really funny.
Wow. All right. Well, that was
poetic.
That was the show. Yeah, shit. That was the show.
That was pretty good.
Greg, go watch some football. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for everybody that clicked along, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, I need to go take a shower.
All right. See you guys.
Yeah.